So welcome to the today class. The today class is the equivalent circuit of a transformer. In the last class we have developed the phasor diagram of the transformer. From the phasor diagram of the transformer we got the two equations. One equation related to the primary winding, another equation related to the secondary winding. So from that equations only we are going to develop the equivalent circuit of a transformer. So first we are writing the equations. V1 equal to nothing but a supply voltage equal to E1 dash plus I1 into R1 plus JX1. See here E1 dash is nothing but the voltage drop in a primary winding due to the self-induced voltage, whereas I1 is nothing but a primary current. See, already we know that the primary current I1 equal to I0 plus I2 dash. I0 plus I2 dash. See here, I0 is nothing but a no load current taken by the transformer. I2 dash is nothing but a load component of the primary current. Load component of the primary current. Again, we can write the I0. I0 we can write it as a I0 equal to I mu plus I C. Nothing but this is the magnetizing current, this is the core loss current. Again the no load current has a two components, one is the magnetizing current, another one is the core loss current. Now here if we see the voltage equation regarding secondary winding, E2 equal to V2 plus I2 R2 plus JX2. See here, VT is nothing but a voltage across the load, I2 is nothing but a secondary current, R2 is nothing but a resistance of the secondary winding, X2 is nothing but a leakage reactance of a secondary winding, whereas R1 is nothing but a resistance of a primary winding, X1 is nothing but a leakage reactance of the primary winding. So these are the equations what we got from the phasor diagram. Now based upon these equations we are going to develop the equivalent circuit of a transformer. Equivalent circuit of a transformer. See here we have taken the transformer. This is the transformer. We have taken the transformer. Here we have taken the this is the core of a transformer. This is the one winding, primary winding. This is the secondary winding where we connected the load. Now this primary winding has a N1 number of turns, whereas secondary winding has a N2 number of turns. There is a self-induced voltage in primary winding, that you have to take it as a E1 dash, nothing but E1. E1 dash is nothing but a voltage drop in a primary winding due to the self-induced voltage. The same manner, there is a voltage induced in secondary winding, that is E2, that we have taken here. See, from this equation we can say that the primary winding has a resistance as well as a reactance. Now this primary, what are the properties? Nothing but the primary winding has a resistance and reactance. Those properties we are representing outside. Nothing but see here. Here we take the resistance. Here we take the reactance. Primary. The current carried by the primary winding is I1. Nothing but so these two properties R1, this is R1, this is JX1. Nothing but the resistance and reactance of this winding we are representing with the two elements. One is resistor, another one is the leakage reactance, that is JX1, where J is the operator only. Where J is the operator. See here, we connected a voltage, sinusoidal voltage. That voltage is nothing but a V1. That voltage is nothing but a V1, right? Now, see from this equation, the primary current equal to sum of the two currents. Primary current equal to sum of the two currents. One is no load current, another one is the load component current. Nothing but here you have taken one more branch. It is taking a current of I0. This is taking a current of I2 dash. If you apply the Kirchhoff current law at this node, nothing but a incoming current equal to sum of outgoing currents. So we are getting this equation. I1 equal to I0 plus I2 dash. To meet this equation only, here we have taken the two branches. Because supply current equal to no load current plus load component of the current. Now here again the load current, this no load current is, see here, this no load current has again two branches. Again it has two branches, each carrying a, this branch is carrying a I mu, this branch is carrying a current of IC, core loss current. This is magnetizing current. Now here, whatever the voltage here, that is E1 dash. In the phasor diagram, if we observe the angle between the E1 dash and I mu means, see here, this is the E1 dash phasor. I mu means here. This is E1 dash. The angle between these two is 90 degrees. All the phasors are rotating in a anti-clockwise direction. The voltage across this branch is E1 dash. The I mu, nothing but a magnetizing current, lags this I1 dash by 90 degrees. See here, to meet these two properties, here you have to keep a inductor. So whenever we are keeping an inductor here, then only the current flowing in this branch lags a E1 dash by 90 degrees. Because in the inductor, if you apply the voltage, the current taken by the inductor lags the voltage by 90 degrees. So to meet this relation, we are keeping a one element, that is the inductor. The name for this inductor is the X mu. Nothing but a magnetizing reactance. Next, in the phasor diagram, if you see the core loss current is in phase with the E1 dash. This is core loss current. This is no load current. This is I mu. This is IC. In phasor diagram. So the angle between the E1 dash and IC is possible only in this branch if you take the resistance, nothing but a, that is the R suffix C. See here, so try to understand here, the core loss occurs in a transformer that we are representing with a resistor RC, whereas the flux creating in the transformer, that we are representing the magnetizing reactance X mu. That we are representing as inductor, whereas the core loss we are representing as a resistor. Now come to the secondary side. When you come to the secondary side, the secondary has a, so from this equation, the secondary has a, similar to the primary, the secondary has a resistance. The winding has a resistance as well as a leakage reactance. This is R2, this is JX2, here this is V2. See here I2. In this branch, how much current is flowing means I2 current is flowing. Now, if you apply the KVL in this loop, we are getting this equation. If If you apply the KVL in this loop, we are getting the E2 equal to V2 plus I2 into R2 JX2. R2 into JX2. See, in this manner, whatever the physical things happen in a transformer, almost all the quantities were represented outside. The copper loss occurs in a winding that we are representing as a resistance R1, whereas the core loss we are representing with a RC. Mutual flux that we are representing with a X mu, magnetizing reactance. Leakage flux at a primary winding that we represented with a X1. See, in the same manner, if you come to the secondary winding, R2, nothing but copper loss occurs in a secondary winding that we represent R2. X2, the leakage flux induced in a secondary winding. That also we represent with a X2, where V2 is nothing but the voltage across the load. The voltage across the load. Now here, there is a change in a voltage ratings. There is a change in a voltage ratings. See, now here, this is the ideal transformer. Ideal transformer. This is ideal transformer. Ideal transformer. All properties we are represented in a equivalent circuit. Except, so what is the difference in a primary winding and secondary winding means? The primary winding is operating at some voltage level V1 as well as I1. Whereas secondary winding is operating at a voltage level of E2 and current of I2. That is the difference. That is the difference. If E1 dash and E2 is equal, then we can keep these elements here. But here, the voltage rating of the circuit as well as the circuit is different. Whenever the voltage rating is different, the current in the primary winding as well as the current in the secondary winding also will be different in case of transformer. Now, as it is, if you keep the transformer in this manner, we can't do anything theoretically. For easy, what we have to do means we have to transfer these elements to the primary. We have to transfer these two elements, nothing but this voltage, these two elements as well as V2 also to the primary without affecting the relation between V1 and V2. What exactly happened in a transformer that should not be affected. So without affecting that one, I have to transfer these two elements. Now here, let me see how we are going to transfer means. So what is the basis? On which basis we are transferring these elements means here. So whenever we are keeping this resistor here means there is some amount of copper loss will be occurs in a resistor. So here I2 current is flowing here, I2 square, the amount of copper loss occurs across a resistance R2, that is equal to I2 square into R2. I2 square into R2. Now, this is the physical thing what exactly happened secondary winding. Now we have to keep a one resistor here. We are going to keep a one resistor here. But in this branch, the current flowing is I2 dash. The current flowing is I2 dash. When the I2 dash amount of current is flowing in this branch, how much copper loss occurs across this resistance? That should be equal to this one. That should be equal to this one. Nothing but if we keep a one resistance here, this is equal to I2 dash square into R2 dash. I2 dash square into R2 dash. R2 dash is nothing but a secondary resistance with refer to the primary. With refer to the primary. See here, R2 dash equal to nothing but a secondary resistance referred to the primary. R2 dash equal to, now you take this quantity this side, I2 dash, I2 square divided by I2 dash square whole square into R2. Nothing but this much of resistance you have to keep here. This much of resistance you have to keep here. Then you can remove this resistance. Now if you observe here, I2 square by I2, I2 square by I2 dash square. What is this means? Already we know the transformer ratio of a transformer. Transfer ratio of a transformer. So what is transfer ratio of transformer? That we have discussed that we calculated that at the EMF equation of a transformer. See here, the transformer ratio K equal to V2 by V1 equal to N2 by N1. This is equal to I1 by I2. How you got I1 by I2 means, see here, how we got I1 by I2 means, in an ideal transformer, how much power we are given to the transformer, the same amount of power will be taken by the load. The power input to the transformer here is V1 I1 equal to the power taken by the transformer V2 I2. This is equal to V2 I2 in case of ideal transformer. In case of ideal transformer. Now if you find the ratio between V2 by V1, V2 by V1 equal to I1 by I2. That we have taken here. So transformer ratio K equal to V2 by V1 equal to N2 by N1 equal to I1 by I2. Now come to this equation. Now we are going to keep some amount of resistance here. Which exactly equal to the R2. What is the function is done by the R2? The resistance what we are going to keep here, that also should be done the same function. Now I2 by I2 dash. I2 dash is nothing but a load component of the secondary current. I1 equal to I0 plus I2 dash. Nothing but no load current. The no load current in a transformer is equal to 2 to 3%. 2 to 3% of rated current. Rated current is nothing but a maximum current that can be flow through the transformer. 2 to 3%. Nothing but a, suppose if we take one transformer of 10 amperes, the no load current becomes a 0.2 amperes. Very lesser. So in a transformer, we can neglect the no load current here. If we neglect the no load current, now I1 equal to I2 dash. Now in this equation, we can write this as a R2 dash equal to I2 by I1 whole square into R2. I2 by I1. Already here we know I1 by I2. So I2 by I1 equal to 1 by K. Now this same equation we can rewrite as a R2 dash equal to 1 by K square into R2. This is very important. Nothing but when you are going to transfer this R2 to the primary, how much resistance you have to keep in the primary here means this much of resistance you have to keep. Nothing but it is highly depending upon the how many turns in a primary winding as well as a secondary winding. Because it is depending on K, whereas K is depending upon number of turns in a primary winding as well as a secondary winding. See, in that manner, you have to transfer the secondary elements to the primary. Now, same manner, if you transfer this reactance to the primary. Now we want to keep one more reactance here. Now how do you calculate that means? See here, X2 dash nothing but the secondary reactance referred to the primary. X2 dash equal to same 1 by k square into x2. In this manner, nothing but the resistance and reactance is directly proportional to the square of the number of turns. Directly proportional to the square of the number of turns. Square of the number of. That's why in the denominator here we are getting the 1 by k square. 1 by k square. Now we are transferring the V2 to the, this V2 also we are bringing this sides. So when you are transferring a V2 this side, primary side, now V2 equal to, V2 dash equal to, V2 dash is nothing but a secondary load voltage with respect to the primary. V2 dash equal to V2 into N1 by N2. N1 by N2. So how you retain this equation means from this. The voltage is directly proportional to the number of turns. Voltage is directly proportional to the number of turns. Voltage is directly proportional to the number of turns. If the number of turns in a primary winding is more means the voltage will be more. The number of turns in a winding will be less means the voltage in a particular winding also will be lesser. See, in that manner, I have to transfer all the parameters. What are the parameters in a secondary to the primary? Now one more parameter is there, E2. So that is also voltage. So E2 dash equal to E2 into N1 by N2. N1 by N2. Nothing but this is the voltage. This is the voltage with refer to the, this voltage with refer to primary. Refer to primary. See, in this manner, what are the parameters of the n secondary? All those parameters we have to refer to the primary. Now, if you draw the circuit, now here we are keeping a resistance with refer to the primary, nothing but a R2 dash. Secondary resistance refer to the primary. This is equal to, already we know, R2 into 1 by k square. The same manner we refer the secondary reactance refer to the primary. This is J x2 dash. This is equal to x2 into 1 by k square. See here, V2 dash. We know the V2 dash. V2 dash equal to V2 into 1 by K. 1 by K. See here, this is the equivalent circuit. Here at this junction, we are getting a transformer. Getting the, in this manner, now the transformer we are getting. But what are the parameters are there? All the parameters we are transferred to the primary. Here this is V2. Now this is the transformer only. It does not have any elements. All the parameters we have taken for the primary, so that the circuit becomes a very simple. Now we are removing this part. If we are removing this is the equivalent circuit of a transformer. This is the exact equivalent circuit of a transformer with refer to the primary. Right? Now here, what are the points you have to remember means the resistance and reactance, if you are referring from the primary to secondary, means it is directly proportional to the square of the number of turns. If you are transferring the voltage, means that is directly proportional to the number of turns. If we are transferring a current, means it is inversely proportional to the number of turns in a transformer. See here, K, we are defining the value in a K, but whereas K is function of a number of turns. Where K is a function of a number of. That's why we are talking in terms of number of turns. That's why we are talking in a number of turns. Now, if you want to simplify this circuit further, you can neglect the no load current. Because in a transformer, the no load current is 2 to 3%, very less when compared to the full load current. But this is the exact equivalent circuit with refer to the primary. With refer to the primary. This is the, here I will write it, exact equivalent circuit refer to primary. This is the exact equivalent circuit refer to the primary. Now this is exact equivalent circuit. Now here, okay, this is the exact equivalent circuit of a transformer. This is the exact equivalent circuit of a transformer. Now we are approximating this equivalent circuit. How we are going to approximate this equivalent circuit means we are neglecting the no load current. In case of a transformer, the no load current is 2 to 3 of the no load current is very, very lesser when compared to full load current. If we neglect the no load current, now the equivalent circuit becomes a this is the equivalent circuit. Because whenever you neglect the no load current, nothing but that we can remove that branch. Now I2 dash equal to I1. So here how much current is flowing? Here also the same amount of current is flowing. Here we can write it as a I1 because it is equal to the I2 dash. Now what is the difference between the I1 and I2 dash means the difference is only the no load current. But here we neglected the no load current. We are combining these two resistance. We are combining these two resistance as a single resistor. We are combining these two reactors as a single reactor. If we combine these two as means single resistance means, see here, now the circuit becomes a, these two resistance in series. Now circuit becomes a, here redraw separately. This is the resistance. This is the leakage reactance. This resistance equal to R1 plus R2 dash, where R2 dash equal to R2 into 1 by K square. Next, this J x1 plus x2 dash, where x2 dash equal to x2 into 1 by K square. See, this is here V1, this is V2. This is the approximate equivalent circuit of a transformer. But transformer in electrical side means we are using only the exact equivalent circuit only. Shunt branch also we are taking into consideration. But the transformer which are using in a power system, where the rating of a transformer is very high, 200 MVA, 500 MVA, nothing but the rating is very high. At that case, the no load current is very, very lesser. So you can neglect the no load current. This is the equivalent circuit of a transformer which is using in a transmission and distribution. Suppose you further, for well designed transformer, the resistance value is very low. It is low when compared to the reactance. The transformer which are using further, if you want to simplify means, the transformer which are using in a power system, those are designed with a very less resistance when compared to the reactance. So you can simply represent it as only the single reactance. But this is the where we are using this type of representation of the transformer means generally we are using in a power system analysis. Power system analysis. We have seen the power system. So many transformers also there when you are coming to the college and all. Wherever you are going, the substations, you can find so many transformers. The total network is nothing but a power system. The total network is nothing but a power system network. So in that network, if you want to analyze that network means the total transformer is simply represented with a single reactance. The reactance value is reactance. This is equal to J x1 plus x2 dash, where x2 dash equal to x2 into 1 by k square. See, in this manner we can reduce the transformer. We can reduce the equivalent circuit of a transformer. But this equivalent circuit we are using only the power system analysis only. But as per electrical machines, with refer to transformer refer to secondary. Up to here we have seen the transformer with refer to the primary. Nothing but what are the elements are there in a secondary that we are transferring to the primary. Now what are the elements are there that we are transferring to the secondary. If we transfer all those elements to secondary, see here we are getting initially we are getting the V1 dash. That V1 dash we are transferring to the V1 is nothing but a supply primary voltage that we are transferring to secondary. That is equal to V1 into N2 by N1. N2 by N1. This is equal to V1 into K. V1 into K. See here, from primary to secondary we are transferring. See, in the numerator you have to place the where we are transferring the number of turns in the winding which we are going to transfer secondary. So N2 by N1 proportional. Now see here, resistance. Here resistance nothing but a R1 dash. R1 dash is nothing but a primary resistance referred to the secondary. This is equal to R1 into N2 by N1 whole square, because the resistance is directly proportional to the number of turns. So we are transferring to secondary side. In numerator you have to keep the for which winding we are transferring number of turns N2 by N1. This is equal to R2 into R1 into K square. The same manner reactance J x1 dash, this is equal to x1 into N2 by N1 whole square. This is equal to, this we can write it as a x1 into K square. Here shunt branch is there that we are transferring to the secondary. This is the magnetizing reactance. Again this magnetizing reactance x mu dash nothing but a with refer to the secondary, x mu 1 dash with refer to the secondary, that is equal to x mu 1 into N2 by N1 square, because it is a reactance directly proportional to the number of turns. Again here core loss resistance, it is also RC1 dash nothing but this is equal to RC1 nothing but a resistance with refer to the primary into number of turns in secondary divided by number of turns in primary whole square. This value again value becomes a K square. Now the secondary has a resistance R2 as it is, and J x2, this is the V2. This is the V2. In this branch this current is I2, this is I0 dash. How do you find the I0 dash? Currents are inversely proportional to the current. So I0 dash equal to nothing but a no load current referred to the secondary equal to no load current with refer to the primary into into n1 by n2. n1 by n2, because inversely proportional to the number of turns. Inversely proportional to the number of turns. This is reactance, this is the resistance. Inversely proportional to this value becomes, in this manner you can find out this value. And one more quantity is there here. This is the E2, nothing but E1 dash. E1 dash is nothing but that voltage with respect to secondary. How do you find this value? Means E1 dash with respect to the secondary equal to E1 dash into N2 by N1, nothing but now we have to take this as a E2 dash. Now E2 dash, nothing but the voltage across the shunt branch that refer to the secondary, that we can take it as E2 dash. This is equal to this one. This value you can calculate in this manner. E2 dash equal to this one. This one. RC is this one. X is this one. I naught you can calculate here. This is I naught. See here, this is the V2. Nothing but this is the equivalent circuit of a transformer with referred to the secondary winding. Secondary winding. See here I am summarizing today class. Up to here we developed the equivalent circuit of a transformer. The primary winding has a resistance and leakage reactance, and shunt branch is there. The shunt branch in equivalent circuit is representing the mutual flux as well as the core loss in a transformer. Same manner, the secondary winding has a resistance and leakage reactance. Initially we transfer the secondary parameters to the primary. Next we neglect the no load current, and finally we developed the simplified equivalent circuit of a transformer. The same manner we are transferring the primary elements to the secondary. In the problems they are going to ask how we are going to find the equivalent circuit with respect to the secondary. So we should know how do you transfer all the elements to the primary as well as a secondary. Now here we have taken the equivalent circuit of transformer with respect to the secondary also. So finally we come to say that the resistance and reactance values are directly proportional to the square of the number of turns, whereas the voltage is directly proportional to the number of turns of a transformer, whereas current is inversely proportional to the number of turns in a transformer. Based upon this only, we are transferring the elements from one winding to the another winding without affect relation between the V1 as well as the V2. So whatever the thing you can do in the circuit, but the relation between the V1 and V2 should not be affected. What exactly happened in transformer, the same thing should be represented here. So in the next class we are going to see what are the different losses occurs in a transformer and efficiency of a transformer, and nothing but we are going to study the what is the performance parameters of a transformer. Thank you.